Hey, hello everybody. Good evening. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the stream. I'm Cam. This is my lovely wife Emily,
Hello.
and we're gonna play some gosh dang D&D. We're gonna make sure that the the microphone is actually picking up. It is. Thankfully, I've been doing some tweaks to the setup and tweaks to the layout, as you may have noticed. Welcome to this next edition of. Cam and M have an ever decreasing amount of space to play in.
And an ever increasing amount of anxiety playing D&D.
we what was I saying? Yeah, so I've kind of tweaked the setup a little bit, and because we've moved on from an SLR camera to a webcam, it just made more sense to have it set up like this because Emily was out of focus and it just wasn't. I don't know. It didn't sit right with me. But the only solution that I could think of was to have you sit right next to me.
You just want to be closer to me, even though we're supposed to keep a distance.
Social distancing. But yeah, so this is our weekly game where we go through the campaign Dragon of Icespire Peak from the Dungeons and Dragons Essentials kit. It's basically an opportunity for the pair of us to play together. Gives me some more practice of DMing. Gives Emily some more practice of playing, and it's just generally meant to be a chilled out kind of romp through Fantasyland.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been that for the past few weeks. It's been very stressful. I think I've really come like head first with the realities of running a game with one player.
Yeah.
Because this adventure is designed to be like scalable. So one player can play, but it's meant to like scale for up to 4. And there are issues with the pacing.
If anything, it's also taught me the value of having other people to play with.
Yes.
Not that I don't enjoy playing just the pair of us, but I can tell that there's something missing when you don't have the party dynamic of other people.
You don't have other people to riff off of, and it's a much more intense experience, I think, just in general, because it's just 2 people. Things move a lot faster.
And I have to make all the decisions, and I'm really bad at that.
the thing with this adventure in particular is it's meant to be open. Like, you have quests that you take and you do them in basically whatever order you want, and that's generally fine when you have a party, but because of the recommended levels of each quest, I think if I was to do this again with one player, I would restrict access to certain quests until you hit a certain level.
What, like the Manticore or the Mance?
The Manticore was fine, because you can easily roleplay that as a social encounter rather than a full-on like combat one, which is how ours ended up.
Yeah.
I'd maybe try and make it a bit more interesting, but either way, I think for things like the Woodland Manse and other encounters where like, but the difference between 4th level and 5th level for a character is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So like having an adventure that says, oh, this is good for 5th level characters, but 4th level characters can deal with it if they're clever about it and they rest often and they're careful. But that doesn't stack when there's only one player.
Yeah.
Because the power difference is... It's to do with... Because you're so easily outnumbered as well. It just gets a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got orcs piling on you and there's only you and your companion.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I think we've highlighted it more than enough that the Mance bit was probably the roughest bit.
It was tough. Yeah, it was very tough.
For myriad of reasons.
Yeah.
Both,
so I think if I was to do this again, I'd probably limit your quest options a bit more. I would still say you can take this quest or this quest, but I'd probably curate it even more than just...
You wouldn't be like, here's this quest that you might try to go on when you're few levels too low for it.
Yeah, I would maybe run it in essence of like, if you do the Loggers Camp quest and the Mountains Toe quest, which we might do this session, we might not, I don't know, but those two are like around the same scale.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say like you can do either of these, and then when you complete both of them and get to level 5, that would be when I go, right, you can do Woodland Manse, or you can do this one, or you can do Axe Home, which is the harder one. They're both harder. Or something, I don't know. Another piece of news is I've been doing some tinkering today, and Quinn finally has his own unique stat block. You might have seen it on Twitter earlier. So I've plugged in his +2 bonus to attack rolls, so Emily doesn't need to worry about that anymore. He's got the Dragon Slayer longsword, so that attack is like built into his stat block.
I also have to remember that he has the necklace of fireballs.
He does. I left that out on purpose because it's limited use.
Yeah.
And you can figure that out amongst the pair of you. And then I've also factored in the Durabelle's Disciple of Life ability into her spells. So any spells that regain health, she can... there's a little asterisk next to it to remind you that it's got a special property. And then in the notes that are basically right next to them, it explains what the benefit is. So what I'm going to say now is, because you've got that, if you forget, that's on you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna remind you anymore, because it just stresses the pair of us out.
Yeah.
I think you've got more than enough information.
And sometimes it's usually when I'm in the middle of counting that you're like, oh, and don't forget this, and then I'm like, all the numbers have gone out of my brain.
I might still. I say that I'm not going to. I probably will still remind you, but
I'll ask.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll bear it in mind now.
Yeah.
There's stuff there to help to kind of notify you, and that's why D&D Beyond is so good.
D&D Beyond.
Anyway, with all of that being said, shall we play?
Yes.
Let's play. I'm going to put the music on, and then we'll go from there. So, last week when we left off, we why has it gone back to this one? No, don't. I need a better music app. Last time when we left off, you went to the Dragon Barrow.
Oh yes.
You made your way out of town to visit the Dragon Barrow. And whilst you were on the way there, you were attacked by wolves, and a friendly centaur called Zorth,
yes,
I think his name was Zorth, saved you and explained that he was having similar trouble with the half-orc spellcasters that are running amok in the forest. And you basically agreed with him that you would help each other deal with that problem. But he's more than happy to wait until you're ready to do that.
He's kind of keeping an eye on them.
He's watching them. He's going to let you know if they make any strange movements. But for the time being, they still seem subdued by the events of the attack on Falcon's home a few days ago. So with that, the pair of you went to the Dragon Barrow. You made a new friend.
Yeah.
Have you thought of a name for your new friend?
I
thought so.
Honestly, I was thinking of names earlier, and there was stuff I meant to look up, and then I forgot to look it up.
Okay.
Which doesn't help.
They need a name.
The only name that comes to mind is Lily, because it's like a funeral flower.
Oh, well there you go then.
Yeah.
Lily the dead horse.
But I wasn't sure if Lily was a boy or a girl, so I didn't...
Does it matter anymore? They're just a pile of bones.
Leave Lily alone.
Maybe you could... It's a boy's name.
In my heart, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So you made a horse friend.
Yes.
You also had a very close encounter with an invisible stalker.
Yes.
Which was fun after locating the Dragon Slayer blade. Which was close call, but you managed to get through it.
Yeah.
And you also managed to find some other useful items in the form, most notably a necklace of fireballs.
Yeah, man.
So you guys have kind of gone from having no magic items, really, or very few, in just 2 adventures. You are now, like,
pumped up,
geared out to the nines. But there could be more treasures and more power to be found.
Yeah, man.
You've got a couple more quests awaiting you.
Yes.
You've got the Maintenance Tow quest, where Don-Jon Raskin needs an escort
The escort
to the Maintenance Tow mine to oversee operations there. And you also have the
rumors.
The rumor that Quinn picked up of a lighthouse, which is home to several shipwrecks that may or may not contain treasures within.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, we pick up the session on the outskirts of Phandalin, and you and Quinn are just arriving back in town, and the one thing that the pair of you have been talking about all this time is, do you just ride into town
with
on
Lily.
Lily's back? We'll say you came up with the name over the journey.
Yeah.
And I mean, the good thing about having Lily is it's going to make your
Traveling.
journeys much faster.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I would say is carrying both you and Quinn is going to make them a bit slower.
It's alright.
But
We're not like, yeah, getting back. It's more just like,
the other thing as well is they're undead, so they don't get tired. And that's probably one thing that strikes you as interesting, is that they just keep going.
yeah,
They don't need food. They don't need rest. They can just ride forever.
they don't need food, but they'll certainly try.
You've noticed that they have a bit of a whimsical nature, and if you do try and push them too long, they don't get hungry and they don't get tired, but they do get bored, and they start trying to chase butterflies and do
Prance around.
random other things, and it takes you a minute to be like, no, we go this way.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is that.
But maybe there's
Lily is a bit quirky.
But there might be a couple of times where it's like take like a small break from riding, just because I imagine it's exhausting, and just be like, Lily's been in a tomb for how long? Let her run around for a minute or so.
She's loving it.
Yeah.
She's having a great time being outside again,
Yeah.
after being sealed in that place
For how long?
For who knows
Yeah.
how long. So yeah, you've very quickly developed quite a strong bond with this horse.
It was a horse. Yeah.
But yeah, the point, the issue remains of
What do we?
you might have grown very attached to this horse, but what are the people of Phandalin going to think if you just traipse in on an undead horse?
Yeah, they might not be a big fan of that. Well, what's Quinn's opinion of it? I'm assuming his opinion is just, yeah, let's just fucking go.
Quinn's opinion is, I just ride in as the Dreadlord, right? March over. Hang on, I need to get my accent on. Right, what I do, yeah, is I put your gloves on, I put the helmet on, get the sword out, ride into town on Lily, yeah, ride straight to Harbin Westers, and we just kick him out. And it's ours.
As amusing as that idea is, I would rather not get kicked out of town.
No, we're kicking him out of town.
No, but I don't imagine the other folks would find it quite agreeable if we did that. I mean, I don't know what their opinions of Harbin Wester are, but I don't know how they'd feel about a halfling riding in on a dead horse, scaring the bejesus out of the town mayor, and then trying to usurp power.
I mean, he's a knob, so...
Yeah, I think maybe when we get to town, we should hop off of Lily and just kind of lead Lily with us a little bit. Maybe I'm just gonna borrow the map really quick, just because I know this side has town on it.
Yeah.
So what direction would be coming in from? I'm trying to not bump the mic, but...
So you guys headed to the Dragon Barrow, which, if I get my super secret DM map out, which tells me where all the things are, you guys were...
just mention the direction. And
I think you're going to be coming in from the north.
so from the Tribor Trail.
Yeah.
Okay. So from up there, coming in. Okay.
Find the drinks.
Oh, I know.
We should probably get rid of those.
Well, Barthen had horses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's right on the edge of town. So what? Maybe we should ask Barthen if he would be so kind as to temporarily hold our undead horse for a moment while we figure out what we're gonna do next.
Well, shall I stay here on the outskirts of town while you go in on foot?
And I'll go talk
Have
to...
a conversation with him first.
Yeah.
Look at me having a reasonable idea.
Yeah.
Have a conversation with him, and then if he says yes, then we bring Lily in.
Okay.
We don't want to. If you know.
I mean, she also seems like the whimsical enough kind of horse to just be happy to hang out outside of town unless we whistle. So yeah, when we get close to town, I will go ahead and I will head towards Barthen's Provisions.
Okay. So you make your way in. You kind of push the door open. It's open as usual.
Mm-hmm.
And Barthen is just kind of doing some general jobs, kind of like tidying. One of his assistants is sweeping the floor. They kind of turn to look at you.
Yeah.
And Barthen seems a bit distracted, so they just kind of turn and go, "Hey, Barthen!" What? I've forgotten his voice entirely.
Just have to make up a new one.
Hey up, Belle. How's you this morning?
I'm doing all right. I have a small potential favor to ask you.
What's that then?
Well, you've done me a lot of favors by letting me borrow out horses and, because I always bring them back and stuff like that. I was wondering how much space you have in your stable that we could borrow for maybe part of the day or so.
Well, I mean, I've got stabling available in. It'll cost you 5 silver pieces a day to use my stables.
That's fine. There is one thing that before I go ahead and give you this, I do have to let you know that this is no ordinary horse.
Right.
And by not ordinary, I mean it's an undead horse.
When you say undead,
I mean it's a skeleton horse.
Right. I'm not exactly thrilled by this concept. Can you explain what?
We went out to the Dragon's Burrow, in search of a sword, to help deal with this potentially growing dragon problem, and in the process, we found this animated skeleton horse who is just basically like any other horse, very friendly, followed us out of the tomb and kind of just wanted to like be useful. And so it's very peculiar situation. I understand completely if you're not comfortable with that. But I mean, if you want to come see her for yourself, I mean, it's a bit weird, but she's a friendly horse nonetheless.
He kind of rubs his balding head, like I do when I'm anxious and thinking.
Mm-hmm. If you don't want to, that's completely fine. But
roll a persuasion check with advantage.
With advantage, ooh. Why advantage?
Because he trusts you.
Aww. Why does he do that? Just kidding. So that's 12. 5. So 12 plus 4s. Oh, wait.
4?
No. Persuasion. So 12.
12.
Sorry.
It's good enough. He kind of thinks for a while. You can see he's kind of like, oh, I'm not sure about this. And he's going through the possible consequences of this. And he goes, all right, look, Durabel, you've done me well in the past. You helped out with Big Al and everything. So I think one good turn deserves another. I'm going to trust you on this one. So, you pay me. I'll just charge you the regular for a normal horse, but I do have a condition.
What's that?
It's not. I don't like saying this, but I've got to think about the people of Phandalin. Do you have any means of you said it's just a skeleton, right?
Yeah.
can you disguise it somehow? Just, I don't want somebody coming and picking up their own horse and then losing their lunch.
Yeah, that's completely fair. As I look at my spell list and realize I have nothing.
You are not an illusionist by trade.
No. But.
I mean, I could just.
Well, do you have a sort of stable that's like on its own? Maybe I can throw you some extra silver for some blankets. We can kind of. So she kind of has her own blocked off space, I suppose.
I don't want to come across like I'm just trying to shank you. Not shank you. That's the wrong word. Cause he comes at you with a knife.
Oh shit!
Like I'm trying to scalp you or anything. But right, I've got some lovely blankets.
Right.
They're 5 silver a piece. Maybe you could get a couple of those. Just drape them over them. Or the stables are open. You see. I don't run a fancy operation here, but maybe you could construct some kind of clothing for them using the materials that I have available here.
When he says open, does he mean just like there's like a barn, but there's like no doors
stuff? It's basically a barn, and it's just kind of partitioned off. It's a standard stable, basically. So there isn't one that's just kind of on its own. If somebody goes in to pick up their own horse, they will see Lily.
No, it was more so like if there's the stables, and like of course there's like probably a small door for each part where the horse.
Careful with the microphone.
Sorry. Where the horse would be on its own. What I'm saying is there one like on the end that we could drape the blankets like to kind of block it from like if you were to walk in and you can see all the horses except there's like the blankets on the end to block the one view.
Well, so kind of like just drape it over.
Yeah. Because admittedly, I think it would look weirder to put the blankets on the horse because it's a skeleton.
You could say it was cold. My concern is that if we create some kind of partition blocking off this stable from the rest,
that people will get curious.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Prying eyes and all that, and it's just going to cause more problems. I can do it, but I would be more comfortable if there was another layer of maybe they peek in and they just see, oh, it's a regular horse.
Do you have any pelts that are very short fur? We could. Like an animal pelt to basically.
The only thing I can think of is so I'm looking at the adventuring gear.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure he sells everything in as far as adventuring gear is concerned.
I was gonna say, please don't tell me you're gonna suggest a disguise kit.
That's where I'm going. That is where I'm headed, to be honest with you.
Amazing.
It's gonna be a purpose built disguise kit. Kind of made out of shoddily. Doesn't stock weapons or armor, but he does sell adventuring gear. So yeah. And so he goes, right, I've got a kit here of like various pelts and things like that. And in essence, what he's offering you is a horse disguise kit. But the cost of the hides and like the leathers and all the equipment, it is going to set you back 25 gold pieces.
That's fine. Remove.
Barthen's just thinking, I'm making a lot of money out of this. I'm glad that I said yes in hindsight.
Is there a route that I can take to bring the horse
How
in?
about this, right? You've bought that disguise kit off me. I'll throw in a couple of blankets for free, and we'll double layer it. You disguise the horse. We'll set up a thing.
Okay.
And then we can. And I'll just say to people, look, this horse is very shy, very very fast horse. Maybe belongs to a noble that's passing through. Please do not look at the horse. They get anxious very easily. If you do, I can't offer my services. We'll be a bit heavy-handed about it. And then at least if someone does ignore me, they'll just see an horse.
A weird horse. Okay.
Yeah, it might be a bit strange, but at least it won't be bones, because that will just cause another. You have had enough encounters with our town master to know how he's going to react if they find out that there's an undead horse in my stable.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I am taking a risk.
Well, that's...
But you're a friend of the store.
I mean, we're only stopping off for a little bit, so if anything, it'll just be like an in and out sort of deal.
Well, I'll leave it open. I'll leave the setup for you.
Okay.
Maybe I can offer it as some sort of silver service when your companion is not in.
Occupying. Okay.
I don't know whether they'll figure out it's just blankets or not. I don't know, but
okay. I thank you, and I'll see you in a moment. And I'm gonna go with this shit in hand.
I've forgotten their name, but one of the kids that's like assisting as you're leaving kind of watches you leave, and then the camera like hangs on the scene, and they just turn and they look at Bart and like what
like what just happened? Did that happen?
What just happened? And Bart's like, I made 25 gold, thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
25 gold and 5 silver pieces.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to make my way out of town and find Durable or not Durable, I'm Durable. I found myself, there we go. I'm gonna go find Quinn and Lily.
I need you to roll a animal handling check for Quinn.
For Quinn, oh no, okay.
With his shiny new stat block.
I mean, not that he has an animal proficiency.
He's not proficient, so it's just his wisdom modifier.
6 total.
You head outside of town.
Yeah.
And you see a very, very sheepish looking Quinn kind of glancing around. You do not see Lily.
Quinn.
Yeah.
Where's Lily?
So, I got bored.
He says I'm holding all this shit. Where's the horse?
I thought they were trying to eat my air, right?
Right.
And I thought, I'll distract them. And I picked up a stick and I was like, go fetch. And they haven't come back.
I knew I was gone a while, but holy shit. Can I try and like whistle? I can't literally whistle, but could I try and whistle for Lily to come back potentially?
Roll an animal handling check.
Oh, I hope this goes better than Quinn's.
You've got pretty decent wisdom, so I know you're not. I don't think you're proficient in it, but
no, but it's +4. I rolled even worse.
Oh my god.
7.
You kind of and kind of just like, what's that? What do you do?
Okay, I'm going to walk a little bit further out and try and whistle again, or like try and see if I can see her anywhere.
So roll a perception check.
Where was that? Natural 20.
Natural 20. You kind of look around. She's not inconspicuous.
No.
You kind of look through and there's you kind of search around for a few minutes and you see in a gap kind of in the tree line leading. I suppose there isn't really a tree line. You kind of go around the side of one of the hills, and she has a twig. And basically, what she's doing is she's playing catch with herself. She kind of leans down, picks up the twig, and then like throws it into the air, and then sort of does like a butt kick, like yeah, and then goes and picks it up and does it again, and then she spots you, and just comes over. Just quietly comes over with it in her mouth. I give her a pat on the nose and I say, good job. You hear, again, her mouth doesn't move, but you hear this like... Okay. So I'm going to bring... So what did he say? So... Ignoring that whole exchange. So he said that we can bring Lily into the stable for a bit, but we have to... I say as I like dump the stuff down, and I say we basically have to try and disguise her as much as possible. Okay. Right. I guess we better get to work then.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he did bring up a good point of if the mayor saw it, then all hell would break loose, and it's just like...
So this is... I'm not really sure how tools work.
I mean, as a disguise kit, I'm assuming it's like a performance, isn't it?
You're not proficient with disguise kit as far as I'm aware.
No, I'm probably proficient with Mason's tools. Yeah. Okay. Playing card set. I'm proficient with land vehicles as well.
So it's probably is it a charisma check? I don't know if it is because you're not like you're creating a disguise. So I don't know whether it's like dexterity or intelligence. I think it's intelligence. I reckon tools are an intelligence thing because you need to know how to use the thing.
Okay.
But Quinn is helping you, so make a disguise kit check with advantage.
Okay, so I'm rolling twice, and then I'm adding my intelligence modifier?
You're adding your intelligence modifier. You can't add your proficiency bonus because you're not proficient in disguise kit.
So it's literally just rolling with advantage because I have no intelligence bonus.
And I'm assuming that Quinn doesn't either. Judging by his behaviour, he probably doesn't.
He doesn't, no.
So you both kind of collaborate together, and we'll see how good this turns out.
Should I roll it on camera so people can see? Oh dear, that's a 4.
Okay.
That's an 8.
8.
Those are both ass. Those are the worst. I shouldn't have rolled on camera. I rolled off camera and I get a 14. I'm blaming camera. I'm blaming you.
So, bearing in mind that you got an 8 collectively, I want you to describe this disguise to me. Bearing in mind that it's pretty bad. But it's an effort. Like, an attempt has been made.
We could say that the reason why it's so bad is because we spent most of the time convincing the horse to sit still and accept it.
Yeah, Lily doesn't like it. Like, you put the pelt over her body, and she just, like, keeps trying to bite it off, and you're having to, like, go, no, and, like, strap it down. Yeah, it's... So there's a lot of that. So it's kind of... It's not on properly. Like, it's off to, like, a jaunty angle.
And Durabelle looks at this, and...
I don't know what you're talking about, Belle. I think it's a work of art.
Belle's just like... This?
Look, right, if I was really, really far away, I wouldn't be able to tell that that's a skeleton. I don't think I'd be able to tell if it was a horse.
Quinn, the difference is we're not talking about far away, we're talking about somebody walking into a stable.
Well, what if we just make it really dark in there?
Durabelle is thinking, maybe I should have just left Lily outside.
Probably even freakier seeing this thing in the dark.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Bless her. Lily seems a bit uncertain. There's a dejected whinny on the wind.
Durabelle is thinking maybe
Quinn finds it hilarious. No, I'll be fine.
I suppose he's on the outside of town, and we're not going to be in town for very long. It's only just a temporary measure. What could possibly go wrong? She thinks.
What could possibly go wrong?
She thinks of all the possibilities that can go wrong as they head back, and she very quickly leads Lily into the stable to the furthest corner one, and still goes, maybe I should get some more blankets. And then I go back in to see Barthen. And I go, hey Barth,
there you go.
Can I buy another blanket?
Sure. How'd it go?
Not great.
Right.
I mean,
I've got to see this. He comes out from behind.
I'm gonna lead him to see.
He grabs
Lily.
one of the blankets and comes along to give you a hand.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like.
You lead him around to the stable, take him to the bottom one, and he peeks and goes, "Jeez." You can't help but chuckle. Like, what is that? And the horse just kind of with like, what's on her head? Like, what are you using to obscure her head?
It probably would have been like, sort of like maybe if he had sold like pelts with like some of the longer fur, just like maybe one of those, and like the blankets kind of look like there's a mane coming down.
Okay, so it's like you've put a wig on it, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a skeletal head
with a
wig on. Because we're using a disguise kit for this. So she's got a wig on.
It's great because it's a disguise kit. It's a horse, and also we're like very small.
Yeah.
And the horse wouldn't sit still, so it's...
You've like draped the mane over her neck, so she's got a bit of fur on the back, and then maybe use just like some of the kind of clothing from a general disguise kit, and just kind of like drape them over her as if they're like, oh, these will pass for like fancy robes.
Well, then we'd put like a big blanket on top to be like, oh, this is like the saddle blanket sort of thing. So it's like a big, kind of like the horse jacket.
So if somebody wasn't paying much attention and she was maybe turned to face away from them.
Hey man, I put this wig on her tailbones, and it looks like an actual like horse tail.
Basically, with an 8, what I would say is, if you keep her in the dark, especially, no one is gonna suspect anything.
She only needs to be here long enough for us to decide what we're doing next.
The disguise will not hold up to scrutiny. The moment that somebody if somebody chooses to investigate her, then they will immediately know that something isn't right.
I just turn to Barthen and go, hey, maybe if someone's coming to get their horse, don't let them, like, maybe escort them.
It's like I said, right? I'll explain it the way that I explained it to you. We'll just say that you're some sort of noble passing through. That's the space that's reserved for
noble horses.
Noble horse, and no one is very skittish, gets scared very easily. Don't go there. If you go there, then that noble's going to be pissed off at you.
I give Lily more pats on the nose, and I apologize for my failed attempt at disguising her.
Roll an animal handling check. It's just +4, I think. It's just your wisdom.
I'm just double checking to be sure, just because I'm rolling like ass tonight. 11.
11's fine. She calms down.
Mm-hmm. And I just say, like, we're not going to be here long, don't worry.
Okay. She's just like, because she likes you, so she's you get the impression that she trusts you.
Mm-hmm.
I've just realised as well, maybe you've taken another wig and you've just strapped that to the back of her, so it's like a tail.
That's what I did. I put it on her tailbones, and then it's like an actual horse tail.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
So you used a couple of wigs, a pelt, some robes, and a blanket. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I mean,
it is bad.
I mean, there's enough of a shape there to be like, yeah, it sort of looks good.
It's horse.
Just don't squint. I imagine Barthen must be a little bit spooked out by the fact that this horse is making noises and doesn't have any lungs or anything.
Yeah. He's very kind of unnerved by the whole thing. But he's all right. Like he's getting there.
And I just say, I know it's a bit weird. I apologize again, but really, she's a great horse. I mean, she pretty much walked the entire way from there to here. Like, didn't have to stop and rest at all.
Really?
So, yeah.
I'm a bit jealous, actually.
Great mileage.
You've done well then.
Did I spit on myself?
No, you're okay.
Okay.
You've done well to make such a discovery. Like I say, I'm not sure about the appearance, but it'll do, I suppose.
She's a good horse.
That's all that matters.
They're a good horse, yes.
Anyway, I'll do my best to look after her while you're here.
Yeah.
Just come and grab her quickly, please.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, and then we're gonna head to what's it called? The Stonehill Inn. Grab a bite to eat.
Okay. So you go in.
While we decide on our next bit.
What meal are you getting? You can have a modest meal for 5 silver pieces, or you can have a modest meal is probably like a bit of meat and some potatoes whereas a poor meal is probably just some bread and cheese.
Let's have a modest meal. How much is it?
5 silver pieces.
Is Quinn paying for himself?
Quinn will pay for himself. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
So you sit down. You have a meal. Quinn helps himself to an ale, and he's just like, right, what are we doing now?
Well, we can either do the make our way back out of town, and we can head towards let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking at the quest. He needs to go northeast of Phandalin. So we could do that one potentially really quick, depending on how dangerous the trek is that way. Or we could go look at these shipwrecks.
Well, I'm all about, you know me, I'm all about treasure. So I'm happy to do either. What have we got anything else, or is that?
We have this quest to go see the gnomes as well. See if they have any interesting magical trinkets.
I'm not a fan of gnomes personally.
Why not?
Well, they just want to be Earthlings, aren't they?
Is it because you can't punch them in the dick?
It is a bit hard to reach. No, they're not tall folk. They're fine, I suppose. They're just a bit too like, oh, I'm a gnome. That means I'm really clever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But they might have some cool stuff to help with the dragon problem. But I suppose it depends on how. I mean, I didn't look out for the dragon, but can I just really quickly listen for if there's any like talking going on in the tavern regarding that?
Yeah, and I won't make you roll for that. I'll just we'll just see what is circulating right now, because I have a table for that.
Ooh.
You hear someone say, as the tribal trail runs east, it passes through the ruins of Conyberry, a town sacked by barbarians years ago.
Oh, I remember that.
There is a ruined temple south of Conyberry where it is said the locals hid their gold.
So that's another treasure rumor.
So you've got those two that you could do.
And the two rumors.
You could go to the lighthouse, or you can potentially go and check out Conyberry. Head up back towards Falcon's neck of the woods. It's up to you, really, but I mean, treasure's always good.
Let's head up towards Conyberry, just because I mean, might do us some good to get a little bit of extra pocket change, and who knows, maybe injecting some money into Phandalin here will help it a bit further. Or, well, I suppose northeast. This is technically the same direction as that rimmer, the Mountains Toe quest.
Right.
So we could escort him up to the mines and then make our way over to Conyberry, depending on how well it goes.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about the east, I'm pretty sure, because the east is where the coastline is.
That's west.
That's west. Right.
Unless is there a compass? Yeah. So yeah, the coast is west.
I knew that.
So the mountain. So never went to Phandalin. Needs to be escorted to the mine. So the Mountains Toe gold mine. It just says 15 miles northeast of Phandalin. So I imagine it would be somewhere up here, Cam, because Phandalin's here, but it's along the mountain, so it's like 5, 10, 15. Is that about right? I mean,
yeah, I would say so.
Somewhere around there.
Let me check my map. I think it's you might have overshot slightly.
Is it like, well, I suppose we don't know.
Yeah, it's roughly there.
You can use the camera where I'm pointing as well.
Yeah, it's more or less there.
Okay.
So it's not far away at all.
I mean, who knows how long this guy is going to be waiting around to do this anyways. It
So
might
you probably
be
say it's going to be like from there to the shrine, like where Coneyberry is. That's essentially another day's travel.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember it took us like 2 days to get up to Coneyberry when we were on our way to the farm. But I mean, if we bring this guy there, and then nothing really bad's happened, we could just keep going forward further. And we do have a horse now, so I suppose getting around isn't too bad. So we are going to look for Don-Jon Raskin.
Okay.
I'm going to ask the barkeep because I don't have my notes with me. I'm going to ask the barkeep because I figure he might know.
Okay.
Where Don-Jon is.
So you go up to the bar and you inquire as to the whereabouts of Don-Jon Raskin, and Toblin just kind of he turns around and says, "Well, he's been staying here for a few days. I think he's been waiting for an escort. I'm not entirely sure where he is right now." And then you hear like a ba-dunk, ba-dunk, as a pair of heavy boots walk into the bar. I apologize. And you hear "Y'all looking for me?" And you turn around and there's like an older looking tall human, kind of dark skin, kind of a graying salt and pepper beard. I think he's wearing a hat. He's wearing like a Stetson.
Oh, right, yeah.
With like there's like a row of like random kind of beast teeth around it. He actually hasn't got salt and pepper beard. His hair is completely white.
Oh, right.
He's got very dark skin. He's got like a stick coming out of his mouth.
Oh, like a blade of grass, yeah.
He looks like a rugged gentleman, kind of heavy build. And Toblin's just like, yes, this dwarven lady was just asking after you.
I can't believe you've forgotten my name already, Toblin. Just kidding.
Oh, well, I'll be. Howdy, miss. How can I be of service?
I heard you need some help getting into the Mountain's Toe gold mine, 15 miles out of town.
Ah, yes. I've been waiting for an escort. Complete pain in my ass, if I'll be honest. I would have quite happily gone on my own, but the guild were what's the word that I'm looking for?
Insistent.
They were insistent. Thank you very much. They were insistent that I take an escort. I don't really think there'll be any need for it, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
Well, we plan on heading up that way, and figured, as you have probably been here for a while, because I know we've been holding on to this for a little bit when we had the chance, that we could see you up there.
Well, fantastic. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to make some money and to also benefit from my worldly experience. I've done, as you can tell, I'm not a young man by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been to many places. I've done many things. I think it'll do you extremely well, young lady.
Well, thank you. I can't wait to hear your wisdom. Also, Quinn, you better not punch him in the dick.
I really want to punch him in the
dick. Do
dick.
not punch him in the dick.
And who's this little fella?
This is Quinn. This is my partner in crime, as you will.
I am Quinn Hightopple. You better watch your back, old man.
Quinn, I'll fucking kill you.
He's a funny one.
He certainly is.
Right, well, there's no time like the present. I've been here for a few days. I'm itching to get set up and mine some gold. I've got some actually they're dwarven friends. Maybe you know them, or is that a bit presumptuous of me? In any case, they're already set up over there. I assume they've gotten to work. I'm just there to oversee. But either way, they're probably getting impatient waiting for me. And if I've learned anything over my many years, it's to not make a dwarf wait.
Yes. Okay.
All right, let's go.
Do you have a horse, or do you want a horse, or because we have a horse but if we
Well,
we could probably rent another one.
If you've got a horse, it would be very rude of me to not secure one myself. I'm sure that the I'm sure that the Barthen down at the provisions will loan me one, and I've actually been, not to brag, but I've been involved in several races in the past. I know my way around a horse, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So why not? Let's do that, and it'll get us there even quicker. You know what? That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Okay. So we're gonna go.
Bead of sweat rolls down your face.
Well, I mean, Durbell's the one who suggested it, but she's kind of like, well, if this guy gets spooked about my horse, then he can see himself up there.
So you and Don-Jon make your way to the
to
Barthen's provisions, and
I have an idea actually. I'm gonna say, I was gonna say I need to go talk to Barthen about something anyways. So why don't you take Don-Jon outside of town and I will bring the horses.
Well, it's a lovely idea. It'll help me get to know your little friend here, and Quinn is just like staring daggers at you, like absolutely fuck you.
Doorbell's just like,
great.
You should tell him about the butterskull. I know how much you love that. And then I'm gonna go.
I've heard about Big Al's butterskulls.
And I'm gonna go into Barthen's.
Excellent. You can tell me all about that. What are they like? And Quinn's just like, oh.
Quinn's like, this is what I'm getting for all those times that I've been mean to.
Follow me. And they both toddle off, and you.
Okay, I go in and I say, well, you'll be happy to know that we are going to be pulling out. I need to actually borrow a horse from you because we are bringing a gentleman with us. But yes, you will be happy to know that I'm relieving you of.
Is it Don-Jon Raskin?
It is.
Perchance?
It is.
Yeah, I heard him outside.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm not. Yeah, I heard him outside. He'll pay for his own horse. You don't need to. I'll just bill him later.
Okay. Just so I can save you the trouble of having to deal with lovely Lily.
Is he gonna be all right? Looking at the, I mean, not to say you didn't do a stellar job.
No, I did a shit job. You can say that.
Well, I'm not gonna demean a customer, am I?
No, but I mean, either way, yeah. If I probably should have told Quinn maybe to mention something, but if he's a little too spooked, then he can escort himself, I guess. I mean, we are trying to help him, and if he seems like a worldly fellow, maybe he'll just find it as amusing as the rest of us.
Fair enough.
I hope.
All right, well, I'll leave the space as it is. So if you do decide to come back, it'll still be here for you. You've paid for a day, you'll get a day.
Thank you.
Cool. So you grab Lily. She is very pleased to see you, and it's a bit of a you've not been gone for long, but in the time that you've been away, you've sort of forgotten the state that you left her in. So it's a bit like, oh jeez, as she comes up to you, this waving wig, and she's just like.
And I rub the side of her skull, and I'm like, you're doing such a great job.
There's bits of hay kind of stuck in the wig now.
And I'm pulling it out, and I'm like, you're such a trooper. I'm sorry. And then I'm like, I'll pull all of this off of you once we get out of town. Don't worry.
And as you make your way out of town,
with the two horses,
the two horses, you see Don-Jon and you see Quinn, and you hear in Don-Jon's booming voice from many yards away.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be the whole thing. You must have a stomach of lead, young man. And he's like, yeah, I ate the whole thing. It was, oh.
I am not at all surprised that Quinn is basically leaving out the details that make him look like a dick, and he's looking amazing, yeah.
Well, that's an impressive feat. I can't say that I've experienced something quite like that.
While he's distracted, I'm going to actually pull some of the disguise off so it's not quite as horrifying to look at. Because I think looking at a skeleton is... At this point, I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, I'd rather just look at the skeleton than look at what I've done.
So you kind of pull the wig off.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe I'll leave some of like the blankets just so it's like comfy to sit on her.
As the sound of hooves kind of approaches the pair of them, they turn around, and Don-Jon double takes for a second. And there's a moment where he just kind of narrows his eyes. He goes, "Now, I don't mean to be rude, but are you sure you're feeding your horse properly?" They look a little, on the thin side.
I mean...
Extremely so, if I may say.
I pass Don-Jon the reins and I go, it's a bit of a funny story, but, we found her. Well, she found us, I suppose, and she's a great horse, actually, despite the lack of most of what makes a horse a horse. I know maybe I should have warned you before we left, but she's a great horse. She's very lovely.
just go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me.
I was gonna say, can I roll an insight to see how freaked out he is? Persuasion. Gonna deal with this fucking skeleton horse. But it's great. Persuasion.
Yeah.
It's just 13.
13.
Yeah.
He just nods slowly and goes, "Well, I had a thing in my head and I've just completely forgotten it." Goes, "Well, you know, don't worry about it. Life is full of surprises, and I've seen many, many strange things in my time. This horse just being one of them."
Now, I suppose you will have another interesting story to add to your grand tales.
Well, while we're on the way, let me tell you about the time when I was in charge of another mine down near Neverwinter. It's a funny story. The things that we found down there.
Okay, we're gonna hop on the horses and get going.
Okay. You
is
make
Quinn,
your way.
Is Quinn riding in front of me?
Yes, and he's just like trying his best to not listen. Like he's kind of just like he's found someone more obnoxious than he is, and he doesn't like it.
And Durabelle's just like listening and doing like the yeah, and like she is trying to pay attention, but because he's probably going
go on. You roll an insight check for me.
Ooh, insight. That's
gonna be big, isn't it?
That is a 21.
21. So I mean, it's not hard to tell that he's full of bluster.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's kind of talking about like I don't need the escort. Let me tell you about this one time where I fought a load of goblins all by myself. They were trying to get in the mine and take our cheese. It was really nice cheese from Baldur's Gate. And you just get the impression while listening to him talk that he's just really happy to have company.
Oh, okay.
Like he talks a big game, but he's very genuine. And yeah, while he's kind of skirting over it and being like, you didn't need to come with me.
He's very happy to have company.
He loves the company. He's really pleased.
I get the impression that because of the way he is, that puts people off, and that's why he's so happy to have someone to talk to.
Because you know what? And then when you get there, he's like, you know what? I've been not there. You don't quite get there yet, but kind of one of the ways. You know what? You've been so good at listening to me, and I know I tend to go on a bit, and it's been Durabelle. It's been a real pleasure.
Well, thank you, Don-Jon. I mean, I've not traveled too far from where I hail, so I find it very enlightening to hear all these different tales of the world beyond my own experiences. Gives me something interesting to look out for, potentially going forward.
Well, let me be one to say that it's a real honor. Whoa! And then he kind of comes to an abrupt stop, as a low ridge has risen to your right, and beyond which you can see the Sword Mountains, scrape the grey sky. But closer in, something is strewn across the rocky ground ahead of you, and in your distraction, it's right in front of you. And Don-Jon just goes, "Oh, well, ain't that something?" And he points ahead, and you can see 6 bodies on the floor.
I immediately hop off of Lily.
Okay. As you get closer, they are orc bodies.
Are they like face up, face down?
They're in myriad positions. One of them is dabbing. Oh no, it's not.
I'm just gonna give them a quick investigation. Well, is it safe to assume that? How high is the ridge that they're by? Like, is it safe to assume that they fell to their death?
Roll a medicine check.
Get the chat out of there. Some of my uncle's messaging me during all this. 18.
18. You kind of kneel down next to the nearest one. Their weapons are strewn all over the place.
Yeah.
You reach down, and as you touch the first one, you kind of recoil a little bit as you realise that its body is stone cold.
Shit.
And not cold as in they've been dead for a long time.
Cold as in they've been
they have been frozen.
They've been frozen, but is the ground wet around them?
No, doesn't seem to be. You determined that it was the extreme cold that killed them. They don't seem to have any other signs of injury.
Oh, so it was like hypothermia sort of thing. Okay.
And Don-Jon is there with you. He's kind of gone off and he's gone off ahead of you, and he's examining another body. And he stands up and he goes, "I'll be. Well, Durabel, looks like a white dragon just saved us some trouble. I've been hearing the stories."
Yeah, we came scarily close to encountering it the other day, or a couple days back. So I'm a little. I suppose you can't tell how long they've been dead if they're cold. I'm gonna. Can I look up and see if I see anything out of the ordinary?
Roll perception check.
15.
Okay. You don't see anything.
Not at all. Okay.
What's the matter? You think it's still here?
Potentially.
What surprises me is, for what I know of dragons, especially white dragons, they tend to be... They're not quite as intelligent as their brethren. Normally they only kill for food. Sometimes for fun. Just surprises me that... Unless there were more orcs and it's taken some.
Yeah, that's potentially what could have happened. I mean, the traces that we encountered were half eaten and still half frozen over. So I suppose it isn't too far of a stretch to think that it probably grabbed what it could, killed the rest, and just flew off back into the mountains wherever it's gone.
Well, as I said, right now it's done us a favor. Doesn't look like there's any immediate threat. Let's just carry on. The mine is waiting.
Yeah, and it'll be good to warn, in case the dwarves there don't know, it'd be good to warn them as well.
Yeah.
We were just at a dwarven ruin where there were other dwarves investigating that we had to warn them about as well, so... Yeah. That's good to know. Okay, let's get on. So we'll hop back. Actually, do any of them have a symbol of Talos on them?
Roll an investigation check.
Oh, that's really good. Where were these rolls before when I was trying to disguise the horse? It's just 18.
So, none of them have a symbol of Talos on them, but you do notice that one of them that maybe is more leaderly than the other. There's one that's kind of slightly more decorated, like they've got some really intricate piercings and stuff on their face. And you rummage around on them a little bit, and you pull out kind of similar to Granok's map, which was the map was like drawn on a piece of hide.
Yeah.
It's one of them, and you find that there is a crude drawing of the symbol of Talos, which is the 3 lightning bolts coming together at the bottom.
Yeah.
So while it's not a holy symbol,
it still kind of ties them.
Yeah, you gather it might be some form of identification, or it basically just further leans into the idea that these orcs are in cahoots with the half-orc spellcasters.
Okay. I will pocket that with the other map.
Okay.
And then get back on Lily, and we will continue our way forward.
All right.
Because we should have enough time in the day to get there, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it's only... So, you left fairly early.
Yeah. I mean, we had time to eat and kind of chill out a bit.
Yeah, so it's probably what? It was probably noon when you left?
Yeah, I'd say probably noon.
So it is starting to get dark as you... in fact, no. I would say it's starting to get dark as you found the orcs.
Right, okay.
So Don-Jon would probably say, well, if we go now, we'll arrive after sunset. I'm perfectly okay with that.
Okay, we're going to press on, but I'm going to keep my eyes... Quinn, we're all going to keep our eyes out, essentially, for anything.
So you keep going, and like the sun disappears, and kind of darkness takes over. Don-Jon gets a torch out to kind of help illuminate his way. Quinn complains at you until you cast light on his sword, because he just wants to kind of go like this.
I'll cast it on the Dragon Slayer so he can feel extra cool.
And he goes, and then Don-Jon kind of slows down and kind of motions for you to slow down as well. Goes, I'm sure it's around here somewhere. And hidden among the bushes, you find a tunnel that burrows into the foot of a soaring snow-capped mountain. And above the mouth of the tunnel, is a wooden plank with the words "Mountain's Toe" carved into it in common.
Well, here it is. I'm assuming the tunnel is small enough that the horses wouldn't walk in, or is it big enough for the horses?
No, you're gonna have to tie them off, I think, and leave them. Okay. Leave them here for the time being.
Yeah, so we'll do that.
Okay. You are a small distance away for the moment. Where are we? Yeah. Okay. But it is dark. I suppose you have dark vision, so as you approach the mine, as you kind of Lily and the other horse, as you kind of get them all set up, give the living horse some feed. Yeah. Lily looks jealous.
I pat Lily give Lily extra pats on the nose to make her feel better.
Just like looking at it.
I give her a carrot.
It's fine. It just kind of on the floor.
But it makes her feel better.
Yeah, exactly. The other horse goes and eats.
Lily chews it up, and then the other horse just finishes it off.
But Lily seems fine with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Why are these rolls shit whenever I need them? 8.
8?
Yeah, wasn't great.
Okay, well, fortunately, Don-Jon rolled much higher. So as you kind of start approaching the mine, he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. He points forward.
I'm assuming I'm gonna throw a blanket over Quinn's sword, so it's not just fucking blatant beacon in the night.
Yeah, well, you can just turn it off.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
He's like, what's going on? Shh. And guarding the entrance that you didn't notice before are 2 what look like female halflings. But they're not halflings. And as you look closer, you realise that their front teeth are abnormally long, kind of like a huge overbite. Their ears have sort of shifted and morphed into more like animal-like ears. They've got long, scraggly hair that's sort of a bit wild. And you look down and they've got like furry hands that are clawed. And the same with their feet. Like they were wearing boots, but these claws have kind of through the front. And they have like a long, bald tail.
What the hell? Does this sound like anything I've heard about?
Roll a religion? Maybe religion? Nature? Arcana? One of those three.
Can I choose which one?
No. Hang on. Let me bring up the stat block, and I'll use that to figure it out. Nature. Roll a nature check. Yeah.
I mean, all the things you've listed are intelligence checks, so it doesn't matter what you add
Are you
onto
proficient in any of them?
No.
No. Okay. Well, it would probably be. I would say it's religion.
I'm not proficient in religion because I'm a terrible cleric. It's 11.
11. You know of a curse that exists called lycanthropy.
Oh my god.
And all you know is that it changes people into various animal forms.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of work this out, Don-Jon kind of goes, "Yeah, we're rats."
Is the moon out? Can we see the moon?
No, the moon is not out.
I am a little concerned for the dwarves inside that were supposed to meet you. I mean, I'm assuming they look incredibly hostile.
You don't know. I mean, they just seem to be standing guard. They're not doing anything. In fact, they're just chatting with each other.
In halfling?
No, in common.
Oh, can I listen for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to make you roll a perception check. They're not saying anything particularly interesting. They're just small talk with each other.
Okay. I'm going to tell Don-Jon to lay low with the horses. I'm going to tell Quinn to have his bow ready. And I'm going to get their attention.
Okay. So as you go, Don-Jon's just like, "Listen to me, Durabel. I don't mean to impose, but if this mine has been taken over by were-rats, I need them eradicated."
Okay. Well, we will deal with these two in one way or another, and then we will see what there is inside.
Those varmints aren't going to be good for business.
No.
So what are you doing to get their attention?
I'm going to because is there any light near them, or is it just like dark?
No. Actually, maybe there is.
You gotta check and see if they have dark vision.
They do, yeah. So there's no light.
Hang
on. No, they don't. So there are a couple of torches on the outside.
So I'm going to walk until I get kind of into their line of sight, essentially.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna walk until they can see me.
So as you step into the radius of the light, one of them kind of they're sort of talking to each other, and then one of them goes like, "Who goes there?"
Hail. I say. I just like raise a hand up, and I go, "Is this is Mountain's Toe, yeah?"
The pair of them look up at the sign that clearly says Mountain's Toe at the top, and then kind of look back down to you, and the other one says, "What's it to you?"
I was told to come here and investigate it to make sure everything was ready to go before mining continued.
Well, I'm afraid to say that the mine is under new management. It now belongs to the overseer Zelene Varnaster. If you wish to discuss, we can escort you to her.
Under new management, huh? What happened to the old management?
They're not in charge anymore.
So are you mean to tell me that you killed them?
No, we didn't say that.
Then where are they?
I think you need to speak to the overseer.
I would love to speak to the overseer, but if I'm going to go see her, I'm going to go see her myself. I don't believe I need an escort.
Roll an intimidation check.
Oh shit. Shit, I have a +3 to that. It's 22.
They rolled a natural 20 on insight.
Oh, it's okay.
That's still not enough. Did you say 22?
It's 19 + 3.
They're sort of squaring up to you, kind of like as they notice. That
as I'm saying that, I'm like got my
as they notice that you're kind of
raring to go.
Yeah, being like,
oh, you're approaching me.
Yeah, exactly. They kind of start making motions as if, like, oh yeah, you're not all that sort of thing, and then they kind of realize that you're serious, and they just go, look, they're not dead. They're still here. They're just in the mine somewhere. We were just gonna wait and see if they leave on their own. We're not here to hurt anyone.
Is there any way I can convince you guys to move elsewhere? You do realize there's a dragon in these mountains.
We're very aware. That's why we're here. Look, we'll take you to see the overseer. We don't mean any harm. We're not going to try anything. She's the one in charge.
I'm going to motion for Quinn to come out as well.
Okay. So Quinn pops out.
Yeah, so I have Quinn come over.
He just goes, ladies. Don-Jon comes as well.
Oh shit! Okay.
Like the moment that Quinn moves, he also moves.
And I'm just like,
kind of got that like.
Yeah.
Now I overheard this conversation. You do realize that this mine is the property of Neverwinter? Have you heard of it? And the were-rats are just like, no, it's not.
They're like, what the hell's Neverwinter?
No, they know what Neverwinter is, but they're just like, no, it's ours now. He goes, yeah, let's go and see this overseer. I'll have them answer to me.
How many of you are in there?
Good question. There's 5 of us.
Insight check. Insight check.
Go on, you can roll an insight check.
It's not gonna be good. 14.
14. You get the impression that they're telling the truth. That your intimidation earlier, they don't want to mess with you.
Okay. We will lead on, ladies.
They turn and they make their way inside
and they follow.
Yep, go in. So
I make sure to tell Quinn to be on guard, especially because Don-Jon doesn't look like he has any weapons on him, does he? Or does he have like a sword?
He is equipped with. You see that on his belt, he does have a dagger strapped to his belt, and he also has a dagger, and he also has like a sling and like a small pouch that you assume contains ammunition for the sling. I'm
still gonna tell Quinn to be on his guard.
Okay.
Because he's got weapons, but I mean Quinn's got 2 long swords.
Yeah, Quinn is ready to fight.
Yeah.
You can't use both, sadly. You need
no.
feet for that. Okay, so they lead you through, and you make your way through a few caverns. One of them is kind of full of wooden posts that are used for shoring up tunnels, kind of the support beams that hold the mine in place. There's a closed door to the west of you as you make your way around a winding tunnel that leads into a larger chamber that has 2 doors. And scattered around this cave are pickaxes, shovels, and other mining gear. There's a northeastern chamber that you can't quite see because you've entered from the south side,
Mm-hmm.
and there are two two other were-rats, males, that are just kind of eating rations and
Yeah.
lumbering around. And kind of as they see the two guards enter, and you following after them, they immediately rise to their feet. And sat kind of Slav squat behind a fireplace, like a fire pit in the middle of the room, is another female were-rat who stands up to her full height, which isn't very impressive. But she's kind of she's wearing slightly fancier attire.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks like she's taken some mining gear and just sort of kind of made
Gussy herself up, yeah.
made herself up to look like maybe she's an overseer of the mine.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "What is the meaning of this?" And one of the guards is just like, Zelene, Zelene, these folks are they're here to talk to you about the mine." And Don-Jon from behind you is like, "Damn right, we're here to talk about the mine. Why don't you lot get the hell out of here? This is my turf."
As John's kind of like puffing up, I kind of like I do like a little bit of this, and I go, "Look, from what I understand, you are here hiding in these mines because of the dragon. Am I correct?"
You are not correct. It wasn't the dragon.
What was it?
It was orcs.
It seems we have mutual hatred. Please tell me more.
We hail from a shrine to the goddess Severus.
Do I know much about Severus?
Roll a religion check.
17.
Severus is the god of. So maybe it's a bloke. Actually, I'm not sure. Severus
the deity
is the god of divination and fate.
Ooh. And
we will say with that roll, you are aware of a shrine to Severus near Coneybury, because you're from the area. So, but it's long been ruined.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
We were where's my map gone? We were living in the Shrine of Severus south of Coneybury when we were attacked by orcs, and they pushed us out.
So the orcs have moved into Coneybury, have they?
They moved into the shrine. I don't know about Coneybury. Either way, we were in need of a home, and this place wasn't being used. There were some dwarves here, but we've accommodated them.
Yes, the dwarves were here awaiting this gentleman before mining operations.
That's right,
began.
me, Don-Jon Raskin. Don't you forget it.
But I feel like something can be made of all of this. Because, to be honest, we share a mutual hatred for an enemy. And if the dwarves are fine that we're here, I guess I see no reason to get violent. I think we could potentially work something out that would be favorable for everyone involved.
Very well. Roll a persuasion check, actually.
It's 16.
16. Yeah, that's good enough, she goes. Very well. I will ask you this then. If you are able to remove the orcs from the shrine, I'm going MS.
I heard it. It almost happened.
If you're able to remove the orcs from the Shrine of Severus, you have my word that we will return, and you can continue your operations here.
I look at Don-Jon.
Well, I don't like to think of myself as a man of violence. I will hold you to your word. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here. And when Durabel returns, I'll make sure you make good on your end of the bargain. And Zelene just kind of says, very well, this is agreeable.
It is convenient that this conversation had, because we were actually making our way up to Coneyberry when we were done here, but so it's not really any more inconvenient. We will...
Well, then perhaps this is the will of Severus.
Fate works in mysterious ways.
Right. Well, if you're going to go, then go.
We are going to make camp. Can we make camp in the doorway of the mines, just so that we're in cover? Or should we go out to the horses?
I mean, you can do that if you want. I mean, it probably would be safer to be with the horses, just so they're not on their own for the whole night.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, we're gonna go and we're gonna make camp with the horses.
Okay.
Is Don-Jon gonna camp with us, or is he gonna stay in there
Don-Jon
and go to where the dwarves are?
Now that Don-Jon is there, he is very much like,
I'm not leaving.
This is my mine, and if you don't get out when you're supposed to get out, then.
Yeah. And I say to what was the matron's name again?
Zelene.
I say to Zelene, and I say, fate works in mysterious ways, and I will hold you to your word. And if you break that word, you will feel the full force of Moradin come down upon you.
Very well.
Okay, and then we're gonna go out and we're gonna make camp. We're gonna camp with the horses.
Okay. The night's camping is uneventful, so you have a long rest.
Cool.
And you wake up at dawn, and ready and raring to go.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make a note real quick of stuff.
How long are we going to tonight, by the way?
Probably go for another hour.
Okay.
Or depending on how long this takes. This isn't from what I can tell, this isn't a large area, so.
I mean, it's gonna take what, another day or so to get to Coneyberry. I suppose if we're not going to Coneyberry, we're going.
You're going to the shrine.
Yeah, which is south of Coneyberry.
Okay. Okay. So, for the sake of brevity, we'll kind of skip past the travel section. It's going to take you a couple of days.
Yeah.
To get from where you are now to Coneyberry.
Yeah. And then back.
And then down to the Shrine of Severus.
Okay.
So, you follow the old dirt trail that stretches from the outskirts of Coneyberry, and you see, popping out from the distance, a ruin stands in the middle of a vast field north of the rocky foothills of the Sword Mountains. An old stone temple with a belfry jutting from its peaked roof is enclosed by stone walls, many sections of which have collapsed. The trail ends at a crumbling gatehouse, the doors to which were sundered long ago. 3 or 4 towers that once stood at the corners of the outer walls have collapsed. Only the Northeast Tower remains, and a guard stands atop it.
Well, before we get too close, is there any place we can peel off and sort of get closer by not being out in the open?
Because this is quite a large, flat field,
it is going to be really hard.
Difficult for you to approach without being noticed.
Especially if we're on a skeleton horse. Is there a way we could... How long is the grass here?
It's not. It's like a flat field. Oh. And the orc is 20 feet above the ground.
So he's probably going to see us. We should have asked them how many orcs there were. And there's no way to sort of make like a really awkward roundabout way to it, is there?
No.
We're basically gonna be seen when
Make an intelligence check.
Just straight intelligence.
Yeah.
16.
You could wait until night.
Good plan. So we're gonna go back. Well, if it's not too far from, how far from Coneyberry is it?
I mean, it's not far.
I was just gonna say we could head back and we could sort of hang out in one of the buildings just so it's kind of.
I mean, we can go ahead and do that. You leave for the time being to reduce the chance of you being seen during the day.
Yeah, and we'll wait it out.
Yeah, some time passes. Is there anything you want to do in preparation?
Not necessarily in this time, but there is stuff I will do as we like go to approach and stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So the guard is at the Northeastern Tower.
Mm-hmm.
So if you will know well enough that orcs can see in the dark.
Yeah.
So at nighttime, as long as you avoid that tower, you should be able to get in unseen.
And before Quinn can even complain about not being able to see in the dark, I mean, he understands the plan, so it's basically going to be like, look, if you need to see, we'll just use one of the ropes to sort of, and I'll just guide you around the outside so we can get there without basically advertising that we're coming.
Yeah, I'll get you. Okay, so night approaches, and as luck would have it, the night sky tonight is quite cloudy. You see that like Coneyberry was once like illuminated by moonlight, and as the evening turns into kind of full nighttime, you see clouds obscure the moon, and it's
extra dark.
Quite dark.
Hell yes, perfect.
Okay.
So as soon as it's like, I mean, what time is sunset at? Like 6, 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Depends on the season, I suppose. But yeah, it's like maybe like 2 hours after sunset when I know it's like actually dark, we'll start making our way.
Okay. So what direction are you going to approach from?
Which tower did you say was the
Northeastern Tower.
So we're going to go around the west side. Kind of, it's a bit of the widest berth, but yeah, we're going to go try to hit the west. Maybe even if we can southwest direct, like kind of
arc all the way around it to the west.
Yeah.
Okay, so make a perception check.
Five.
So you can
I rolled a nat 1.
You can see that the western wall has completely collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
You do have dark vision, so you can see a small way out, but you're just as much kind of in the dark as everyone else beyond that point. You can hear some noises coming from the courtyard area.
Right.
But you haven't been spotted, and no one else has spotted you.
Cool. Can we push a little bit further to try and hit like the southwest corner?
Okay. So this southwestern tower is basically completely ruined.
That's fine.
But there is because it's so screwed, there is a hole in the wall that leads into the tower itself.
Right. Okay. We will slip in that way.
Okay. So you enter into the tower.
Is there like windows that face in, like stone windows that basically, or stone openings that face into this area? Like I guess the courtyard.
Yeah. So once you go in, there's a door that faces out into the courtyard.
Okay. Is it open?
It is.
Oh, can we take a look? See if we see anything.
Okay. So go ahead and roll another perception check for me.
My rolls are shit. 8. I'm rolling really bad tonight, guys.
Yeah, you're not sure. like I say, you can hear noises, but you're Oh, I suppose. Hang on, let me just check. Oh no, your dark vision is. I think you have dark vision of 60 feet, don't you?
I will check, but I believe so. It's a racial feature, isn't it? You can see in darkness up to 60 feet.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't make out a lot of detail, but you can see a couple of shapes.
Okay.
In this area of the courtyard.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
How big is this door?
It's about 5 foot wide.
I look at Quinn and I go, do you think we could lure them over here if we made a little bit of noise?
Well, I think so.
Get your sword ready.
It's already
It's just like...
I'm gonna warn you, Belle, I can't see.
It's okay. You will know when to swing.
Alright.
So he is going to wait until I swing. When he hears me swing, that he's going to swing as well.
Okay.
And then I'm going to... Is there any loose stones in this? I mean, imagine because it's collapsed.
It's like a crumbled.
I'm gonna... Is there like sort of like spiral, like some remains of like a spiral staircase?
No, it's completely collapsed.
I'm just gonna pick up one of the rocks and just kind of like maybe just like toss it up so that it just kind of rises up a bit and then hits the ground so it makes noise.
Okay. Roll a stealth check for you and Quinn.
Oh my god, I might change dice even though I know that doesn't have any bearing on anything. 8.
Okay.
I don't have advantage on stealth, do I?
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
Yeah. You got those shoes.
Okay, so then I can re-roll that, can't I?
Yes. You can't re-roll it, but you roll it with advantage. Come on, Emily. You know how the game works.
No, that's what I mean is I roll again.
Yes, you know how advantage works.
Well, that was even worse. So, yeah, 8.
Okay, what did Quinn get?
Stealth is dexterity. 6.
So you both rolled absolute ass.
I've been rolling really bad tonight. I mean, ultimately, as long as it gets them over here. And there's only one doorway.
So as you go to throw the stone, it like you throw it up and it kind of pings off against the opening in the tower and goes back and kind of hits you in the face.
Oh fuck!
Just like, oh shit! And then your armor scrapes against the side of the doorway.
Yeah.
As you kind of shuffle back in, and the two figures kind of go, and they kind of see the shape of you duck back in.
That's okay.
And
I'm
Quinn
getting my
well.
warhammer ready.
And they both kind of go. And they both run off.
They're a lot more clever than I expected them to be. Is there any places that look like you can, if we jumped out of the tower?
I mean, you could leave out of the hole that you came in through.
No, I was just wondering if there was any collapsed places in the courtyard we could duck into.
You can't see that far out. At the point that you're at, it's too large, so you can't, from where you are, because it's so dark, you can't see any of the other towers.
Okay, right. We're gonna hop back out the way we came in, and we're gonna
As
kind
you
of
hop back out. You can hear loud footsteps.
Yeah. We're going to fucking...
Very loud footsteps.
We're gonna fucking duck behind some of the, like, part of the wall. And, I mean, we still still got our swords on the ready, but I'm doing that thing where like Quinn's got his sword out and I'm sort of like grab him by the scruff, drag him around sort of thing.
You hear like illegible like
We're gonna kind of hug. There's still a bit of a wall, isn't there, around this place?
You can hide behind the back of the tower, yeah.
Yeah, well, I wanna get behind the back of the tower, but I kind of want to move away from the tower in case this loud thing basically attacks it. And yeah, so we're gonna kind of hug and kind of move south along it, just to kind of get out of the way.
Well, you're at the south tower, so you can either go east or you can go west. But the western wall is completely screwed.
Wait, I thought the towers were like northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast.
Yeah,
and we
so
were
you're
here.
At the southwest tower.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean. And
so this wall, I should probably draw a map or something, but basically the western wall is completely screwed.
Yeah.
If you're hiding behind the southwestern tower, unless you're moving away from the whole thing and leaving yourself in the open.
No, I was more so wanting to hug around this way.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So you're going east.
I'm kind of hugging the wall around to head towards
There is a gap in the wall about 20 feet away.
I will stop before the gap, yeah.
And you'll see, as you're coming through, this massive, meaty hand kind of reach into the exit that you were just at, and then this huge head with like tiny beady eyes kind of go.
Dorabelle doesn't laugh, but I'm laughing.
Oh yeah, they do. And then it turns to face the pair of you.
It sees us?
Of course it does.
So shit, we should shit.
And it just goes.
Can I hit it? Can I hit it?
No.
Oh,
roll initiative.
Okay.
You're too far away from it.
Oh, right, okay. We're just like, I keep bumping the mic. I'm gonna move it.
Don't move it too far away.
No, I'm moving it up because I keep bumping my arm into it. Oh my god.
Oh, I need to change the music. I haven't changed the music yet.
Battle music time.
I still can't hear it. Has it even been playing?
I don't know. I can't hear anything.
It's not been playing. What the this app is so bad. I need to get a new one. There we go.
Please throw those dice into the sun. I just got a comment. Yeah, really. These are rolling so like I think all of the good juju was spent on in that session where I rolled like a whole bunch of nat 20s. And now it's just like, nah, I'm done.
Okay, what did Dorabelle get?
3.
What did Quinn get?
He got sorry, I need to just check his. He got 17.
17. Okay, so Quinn actually goes first.
And he's gonna fucking swing it. He's gonna
hang on a sec. Just put the list. So.
He can't see this thing, can he?
Nope.
You can't ready. Can you, as part of your held action, hold movement?
No.
Okay. He is going to. He'll hold his bow. I mean, I know
hang on, sorry.
Okay.
I'm just doing maths in my head real quick. So yeah, what's Quinn doing?
He's gonna hold his longbow. He's gonna pull out a bow because I've pulled him away a bit, so he'll hold an arrow for when he can see.
Okay. It's then the ogre's turn. So it's going to just kind of go, and and he's gonna come charging.
Oh shit.
With his so he comes out from the side, and you see in his other hand is this massive club, and he's just gonna come straight for you like boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
Boom.
You're right.
The great club comes down for a 12
Against
AC.
Durabel?
I assume Durabel's in front. Oh no, Quinn was following him, wasn't he?
Well, Durabel was dragging him along. I don't know.
So he'd probably be behind you then. So it'll be a Quinn because he's the first thing that it can see.
Shit. Okay.
It still doesn't hit him though.
No.
But maybe Quinn, in like his instinct, just kind of ducks to the side.
Maybe he hears it coming.
I think we'll say as he hears it coming, he releases his held arrow. So fire with disadvantage because he can't see.
So, 12.
12 hits.
Amazing.
So he just kind of goes fuck and lets it go.
Oh wait, no, it's 10 to hit actually. I was looking at the wrong stat.
Oh, then it doesn't.
That's fine.
It just kind of like pings off into the air.
Yeah. I was looking at the long sword, not the long bow.
Okay,
that
right.
was my bad. Okay.
So that slams into the floor. Next turn, you hear shifting from behind you as the orcs that you saw before charge around the other side of the wall, and they're going to come at you with their axes.
Okay.
So first one is awful. That's a 9. Second attack is a bit better. It's a 16.
Doesn't hit.
So the first one just kind of like they try and be clever and like swing their axe out as they're coming around to try and get you, and you just duck back and it clashes against the wall. The second one comes in and swings his axe at you, and it just collides with your armor and doesn't penetrate.
Okay.
It's now your turn.
Can I know that this question comes up a lot, but can I use a cantrip and a spell?
Yes.
Okay.
But the spell has to be a bonus action spell.
Fuck. Okay.
Because there are no bonus action cantrips.
Except for... No, why not?
No. They don't exist, as far as I'm aware.
I mean, are all these dudes in melee with us?
Yeah. So at the moment, it's basically orcs, you, Quinn, ogre.
I am going to cast Spiritual Guardians.
Okay? That's centered on yourself, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so you concentrate and you throw up the spiritual guardians.
My little birds.
Okay, so you're now concentrate. Yeah, the little the aura appears around you. It's a 20-foot. Was it 20?
15 feet.
15 foot. Is it diameter around you, or they flit around you to a distance of 15 feet?
So it
That's
is
pretty big, actually.
a 15-foot diameter.
Yeah, so it's like woo, 15. Yeah, so the you kind of like channel the spiritual energy of Moradin, and the little birds kind of start around you and start kind of assaulting both the ogre and the two orcs.
Yeah.
It is now the
All of their speed is halved,
sweet.
and if they're starting their turn there, they have to make a wisdom save.
It's Quinn's turn now.
Oh, okay. Quinn is going to. A part of him is going to wish that he could give a halfling hello to this guy, but he can't really see him yet. So he is going to.
Yeah, right now all of his attacks are at disadvantage because he can't see.
Yeah, so he's going to swing. He's going to swing the Dragon Slayer.
Okay, so he puts his bow away, pulls out the Dragon Slayer. Go ahead and make an attack with disadvantage against the ogre.
It's not going to be good. It was a natural. Oh wait, he can re-roll natural ones.
He re-rolls ones, yeah.
Okay, so 17. 12. So 12 plus 9 to hit.
So 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits.
When...
So he goes to swing his sword, and he just kind of swings blindly, and he stumbles a little bit. But he stumbles and kind of throws his sword forward, and it connects with flesh.
1d8 plus 4 slashing damage. So, 8 slashing damage to this fucker.
Okay.
To the ogre.
Cool. You should go. Okay.
And that's his go.
It's now the ogre's turn. What's the? It's not gonna make this. It's wisdom. It's shocking.
It's part of the reason why I picked it.
It rolled pretty well.
Please don't say that. I mean, it's
It's right at the top. So if you go to your spells, it's right there. 15.
But I was checking. I believe it's a wisdom save.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So wisdom save of 15.
Wisdom save 15. It rolled a 15, but it has a -2 to its wisdom.
Hey.
So it fails. Go ahead and roll damage.
What kind of alignment is this dude? Oh wait, no, that's my alignment. Okay, so it's 3d8 radiant damage. It's 2, 6, 5, so 11 radiant damage.
11 radiant damage. Looking pretty hurt. So these birds are kind of biting it. It's like birds.
They're they're annoying the shit out of
He
him.
just lashes out and swings down at Quinn in a rage. That's gonna hit. That is a 23 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
You just hear Quinn yelp, and he suffers 8 bludgeoning damage from the attack.
Okay.
Actually, not a good hit on the ogre's part, but never mind.
Thankful for me. Okay.
So now it's the orc's turn. So I need to roll 2 dexterity. That's 2 wisdom saving
Wisdom
throws.
saves, yep. And then I'm gonna have to do more damage for that, aren't I?
Well, they're both going to take damage regardless, so you can roll for it.
Okay.
Roll for it now, and we'll see if they. So one fails. They both fail.
6, 7. So 19 radiant damage.
One of the orcs lets out a shout in Orcish,
Yeah,
which
because 6, and 7.
You don't understand what this orc is saying. It just kind of screams out like "Rrrr!" as they're both torn apart by the birds.
Oh, these chickadees, man, they're like, fuck you. Man, that was great.
Yeah, so they just immediately just gone.
Okay, I'm going to cast light on well, I'm gonna go up to Quinn and I'm gonna like slap his sword hand so that the light is cast on it because it's touch range.
He's like, oh, thank God.
And he's probably like, oh, thank God. Ah!
Yeah. That's alright, I could smell it anyway.
Okay, and then that was my action. I mean, I don't have to focus on it, or I don't have to concentrate on it, so I could get spiritual weapon.
You could get spiritual.
I could get spiritual. Yeah.
Spiritual.
Well, now that it's lit, can I see how fucked up this guy is?
He's looking pretty hurt. He's got like a couple of. Well, he's got like a big gash in his belly where Quinn like fell into him.
Okay.
And
Quinn looks all right.
And there's kind of like some tearing around his skin, like some like
from the birds.
Bright-looking radiant wounds from where the birds are just kind of dive bombing into him.
Yeah, man.
And passing through his body.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. We'll cast spiritual weapon on him. Get some extra hits in there.
Okay. So yeah, you summon the weapon. It's just another version of your Warhammer, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Until I think of something more clever, it's just another one of my hammers. So 9 plus 7, so 15.
Yeah,
no, wait, no, 16 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, max damage. 12 bludgeoning damage. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the Warhammer appears. Where are you positioning it, by the way?
I guess, like, next to Quinn.
Okay. So it appears next to Quinn and it hits for 12 damage. It's looking hurt, mate. It like clocks it around the side of the head and you should go,
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
That's your turn?
Yep.
Okay. The ogre is going to take its turn, and in desperation, it's just going to try and swing at Quinn again.
Is it gonna take...
Oh, it's gonna roll a saving throw. And it's going to fail. It rolled a 7 minus 2.
Sweet. So 4, 7, 5. So that's 16.
16. It looks down at Quinn and the shining blade and all these. It's like it kind of gets distracted by the birds, and you can see like and slumps over dead.
Oh my god, that was incredible.
But you can hear more footsteps. And there's more of them.
More of the really heavy ones?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Can I tell how many more?
Not at this. You're too like, what's going on?
Shit.
So that's that. What else are we gonna say? And then at this point as well, you hear lighter footsteps on the orc's turn as 2 more orcs emerge, and they're both gonna go into your area. They both fail, so go ahead and roll damage.
6, 2, 6. So 14 damage. 14 radiant damage.
14 radiant damage. They're both immediately destroyed as well. As they run in, they're just like.
Oh my god, this spiritual guardians is.
It's good. It's good
This is
shit,
a
man.
scary
Hey, man.
one.
3rd level spells are badass.
This is a scary spiritual guardians, man.
These
These are like.
birds are pissed off.
It's because Durobel was like orcs.
Yeah, man. They've got little. As you look closely, you can see they're wearing little helmets, and they've got little Moradin hammers, kind of in their beaks, like.
Yeah, man.
They have. They have. I was making a joke, but.
I do like the idea that they've got little helmets on. Though.
Yeah, man.
Little
Okay.
little bird helmets.
It is now your turn.
I'm going to hold. Would it cost my action to try and perceive how many are coming?
Yeah, you would have to actively look and see how many are on the way.
That's fine. I'm going to bonus action bring my spiritual weapon a little bit closer to the pair of us. And then I want to see if I can figure out how many more are coming.
Okay, so yeah, the spiritual weapon kind of comes next to you. Roll a perception check.
Okay.
Then again... No, you don't need to roll a perception check. No, I'm talking bollocks, because they're not hiding. You look over, and you can see entering your field of dark vision 2 very large figures.
2 ogres, okay.
And no, the 2 orcs got incinerated. Yeah, so you can try and perceive and see if you can hear anything else in the distance. So maybe do that. Or you can just try an attack.
I don't want to.
Are you just gonna like fire the cannons?
I might. I'm thinking about it, but I don't want to burn all my. It's the whole thing with slots, isn't it? I mean, I have a lot of slots, but let me check.
You do now, actually, yeah.
Yeah. So I could. Oh, I suppose. I'm going to try and level 1 guiding bolt one of them.
Okay. So you just kind of throw out a basic guiding bolt.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
And it's my, it's that +7 hit, right? Yeah. Oh man, dirty 20.
Dirty 20 definitely hits.
Okay, so, so I only cast it at 1st level, so it's Is that really first level?
46, yeah?
Shit. Okay. So. 1. 5. 1.
7.
3.
So 10 damage.
So 10 damage, and that one is glittering.
Yeah, so you just...
Yeah.
You kind of throw out like a laser of radiant energy
Yeah.
that hits it. It goes, ooh!
And Quinn can see it now.
I mean, you can see it. You can see. Oh, I suppose the light only goes out a certain way.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how far they are. Well, if he couldn't see it before, he can sort of see it now.
Yeah. He can't see it. He gets advantage on the attack.
Yeah.
So it would cancel any disadvantage that he got from trying to hit it.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's just kind of. It's not like it doesn't generate light. It's just like an additional.
Well, it just says thanks to the mystical light glittering on the target.
It's a dim light though. It wouldn't be enough to give him like full visual.
But I suppose he okay, yeah.
What do you say? 10 damage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a spell. So it would just be. Okay, yeah. So it's
4 radiant damage or 10 radiant damage. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you blast that out. The spiritual weapon is next to you. Cool. So it's now Quinn's turn.
Yeah. And
what is he going to do?
He, you said he can't really see it, right?
What's the range of light?
Bright light and a 20-foot radius and dim light for an execution.
So he would have to get closer. He would have to get within 40 feet to be able to see them. So he'd have to basically get to the other side of the wall in order to see it and get full advantage on the attack.
If he held his action, I suppose because it's it's on the next attack, so he could hold his Dragon Slayer until they get closer. Or
you have to think about his positioning because he's behind you technically.
Yeah.
So it's going to be difficult for him to get in range of the Dragon Slayer unless he gets within visual range of them anyway.
Well, aren't they coming closer?
They are. So he could get into position and ready his action.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Okay,
so he's gonna move to like Belle's side so that he can be sword ready, not two-handed, one-handed.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, does he?
He can.
Does he have a shield? No, he doesn't have a shield. Does he?
No, he does.
Does he? Okay. No, he's gonna keep the
It's
shield.
in his armor class.
No, he's gonna keep the shield because higher AC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what would he do instead?
What do you mean?
There's nothing that he can do that would require him to lose his shield.
I thought you can't have the shield if you have two-handed weapon.
Oh, if you hold the weapon two-handed.
Yeah.
Yes, but longswords are versatile. You can do one or the other.
No, I know that longswords are. What I'm saying is he wouldn't he lose the benefit of his shield if he two-handed it? Because that's why I never two. Yeah. So I was just saying no, he one-hands it because I don't want him to lose that AC.
That's what he always does anyway. So, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that's because I sometimes think about it and then I go, oh wait, no, AC is good. So yeah, he's gonna hold the Dragon Slayer longsword until they get into range. He's gonna wait until the glittery one gets into range.
Cool. Okay. So with that being said, they are gonna both of the orcs are gonna get into range. Both of the ogres are gonna get into range, and as you see both of them kind of towards you, you can see there is an orc charging towards you as well.
Okay.
It's from what you can gather, it's the one that was on guard.
Right. Okay.
Has come down, is charging through. That one can't go yet. So these ogres are gonna come towards you.
Yeah.
So they both enter the radius of spiritual guardians.
Yeah.
So the first one, 14 minus 2, that fails. The second one is 0, so it fails.
Okay, so 3d8 radiant,
Yeah.
right? 2, 3, 4.
So 9 damage.
Yes.
So they both take 9 damage.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, they both just like birdies. And so as they get into range of you, Quinn will be able to get a shot off at one of them. we're doing theater tonight, so you can pick whichever one. If you want to give him advantage on the attack, he can attack the one that's...
He's gonna attack the glittery one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, I'm glad he did because that's 14 plus 9. Shit. So yeah.
So 23. That definitely hits.
Yeah. 1d8 plus 4 slashing damage. So 6 slashing damage.
6 slashing damage. Okay. Okay. So he just kind of jumps out and goes, fuck you. Just
Fuck.
slashes up the ogre's belly.
Yeah.
Cool. They're both going to make attacks now because they didn't like that very much at all.
They don't like my birds? Why not?
They're both... I think one's going to go for you and one's going to go for Quinn. They kind of... Smash!
Yeah.
Big smash!
Which one are you rolling for first, me or him?
We'll do you first because you're closer. That is going to be a hit. That is 18 plus 6.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So it kind of... we'll say this is the... this isn't the glittery one. So it just kind of... It sees that one get hurt and it's like... charges forward.
Yeah.
And kind of tries to... like ram his club into you, like thrust it forward. You suffer 12 points of bludgeoning damage as it connects square with your chest.
Oof.
You feel all the air
knocks
rush
the wind
out
out
of
of
your
it.
body.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
The second one is going to go for.
Do I have to make? Sorry, finish that.
Yeah, you will have to make a con save.
Yeah,
first
but
for your guardians. Yeah,
but yeah,
we'll do that in a sec.
Yeah.
This one is a 12 to hit, so that's not going to hit.
That doesn't hit him.
So you took
12
damage. So the DC is 10. It's a DC 10 Constitution save.
Okay. Oh, 11.
11. So it takes a moment. Like the spell kind of fizzles a little bit, but you kind of go no, and you maintain concentration.
That +3 con saved me.
Yeah, man. Okay, so that's boom, boom, both of their attacks.
Okay.
It's now the orc's turn, so he's going to use his bonus action to use his aggressive movement and charge straight at you. He's going to like kick this guy is. You look at him, and for an orc, he's quite lithe, which is strange, but I suppose makes sense if he's a lookout.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to do some like crazy parkour.
Oh, monk shit.
He jumps up, kicks off the back of one of the ogres. You hear it kind of go, and then kind of grabs the wall, like what's left of the wall, flips over it, and he's going to come down on you with the axe.
He also needs to make a wisdom save.
And he will do that as he comes into the area. He'll do that first. He might have actually saved. Actually, no, I don't. Oh, he might have.
It's wisdom 15, I believe.
15.
I'll double check it.
Then he does save.
Oh shit. Okay. Save DC is 15.
Yeah, so he saves. So he rolls 16.
Oh shit.
So he takes half damage. This might still kill him.
6, 5, 1. So 12 radiant damage.
Okay, so he takes 6 radiant damage.
Yeah.
No, so he kind of comes in. The birds all immediately latch onto him, and like his body kind of you see like cuts and grazes like over his body as he comes down on you with his axe.
Is he gonna hit?
No. He rolled a 3, so that's a.
He's off put by the birds. Birds are OP, man. Those chickadees, man, they'll fuck you up.
8. Yeah, so maybe they kind of like knock off his trajectory. You hear the axe scrape against the wall as he lands, and he's just like, and it's your turn.
Sweet. How is this ogre in front of me looking?
The ogre in front of you is not looking. Well, I mean, they're both kind of everything is in.
It's the non-glittery one. How
the
is
non-glittery one doesn't look too bad.
Okay.
Compared to the one that was glittery, which is a bit fucked.
Okay, I'm gonna first bonus action move my spiritual weapon and attack the orc that appeared.
Okay.
11 plus 7.
That hits.
That's 6. Or no. That's 9 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so yeah, the orc lands, and kind of like rolls up and goes, "Roar!" And then as it screams, your warhammer swings around and just cracks it. Its head like bounces off against the wall.
Oh
You hear
God.
this ungodly like crunch noise, and it just slides down.
Oh my God. That's almost as violent as Tosetsu sometimes. Right.
So that was your bonus action.
My action, I'm going to attack the ogre.
Okay.
The non-glittery. Well, he's not glittery anymore because that effect would have worn off.
Yeah,
but
so
I'm just going to keep referring to him as glitter.
There's one on you and there's one on Quinn.
Yeah.
So whichever one.
I'm attacking the one on me. 11. Does 11 hit?
11 hits.
Oh shit. Oh, because they're
guys
big.
Are big.
Okay.
So they're not difficult targets to hit.
9.
Okay, so you come in with your warhammer and bam!
Yeah, 9 bludgeoning damage.
Bludgeoning damage. Let me just check that they don't have any bullshit. I don't think they do. No.
I'm hoping. I hope that.
9 damage. So.
Yeah, I hope in the wake of this, Nepenthe starts using spiritual guardians and starts.
It's so good.
Starts windblading everything.
Oh my god.
It's almost as violent as the old lady in the wall of blades.
Don't. Let's not go back there.
Okay.
It's Quinn's turn. Top of the round.
He is going to attack the boy in front of him.
I'm gonna say that there's a moment where he kind of glances.
He's thinking about.
You kind of see because maybe they're like dangling like a chain from his trousers. He looks down at the necklace of fireballs and he's just like, maybe not.
No, I have something in mind with that necklace. So.
Okay.
Well, Durabel does, but what I think Quinn would also do is I think he would also consider giving it a halfling hello. How injured is this boy?
I mean, he's looking pretty bad. You can do a halfling hello on it because it's a humanoid technically.
And it's bigger than him.
Is it? It's a giant, but I will allow it because it probably has a dick.
If it doesn't have a dick, he's gonna punch it where its dick would be.
So the way it works is you just roll it like a regular attack.
Yeah, I see that it's a +8 to hit.
I added the halfling hello. So
yeah, it's got its own little stat block. Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna like look at his sword, that's all like glowing in the light and stuff, and then he's gonna look at it and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna try and punch it in the dick. So he's going in. Oh my god, 17!
So he looks at his sword and there's like a twinkle in his eye and he kind of ducks down, slides underneath the ogre and just clenches his fist and just punches straight up.
What's amazing is it knocks him prone as well.
Yeah, you just hear this like and he quickly scurries out as there's this like as the ogre falls to its knees.
Okay.
Roll 2d4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's I depowered it a little bit because it's
That's
technically
fine.
an unarmed attack.
2, 3, so 5 plus 3, so 8 8 dick damage.
Wow. Quinn kind of like pops up and he glances a look over at you, but his eyes are wide and he's just like, don't ask me what I saw down there.
Oh no! Durabel, I imagine because it's the heat of battle and Durabel's like focused, like she's concentrating on a spell, she's swinging stuff. So like in the heat of the moment, she's just like doesn't know what he's talking about. So she's like, what?
But you do see there is an ogre on its knees, like.
Oh, so good.
And it's now their turn.
And they have to make a wisdom.
So it's gonna kind of kind of stand up.
And make a wisdom.
It's going to make an attack against Quinn. It's also going to make a wisdom saving throw. It's going to do that first, in fact. 5.
Amazing.
The other one. 2, 1!
Oh my god.
So they both take full damage.
So 7, 4, 4. So 8 plus 7, so 15.
The first ogre that fell onto its knees and is kind of like holding its crotch like and it's just like you just hear its cries like echo out into the courtyard as the birds just rip it to pieces bit by bit. What was the damage total?
15.
15.
I believe, yeah. I mean, chat could correct me if we want to check.
So the other one is kind of like looking really bad and kind of trying to catch these birds, but still like.
Yeah.
It's gonna try to run.
Oh shit.
It kind of analyzes the situation with its ogre brain, its pea brain. It kind of like looks at Quinn.
Its two brain cells are like.
Looks at its friend. Looks at the fact that there's like 4 dead orcs and 2 dead ogres around the place, and just goes, "You fight and run away. Live fight another day." And then starts to run off. Both you and Quinn get opportunity attacks.
Okay, which we're definitely gonna take. So I will swing first because it was on me. 10?
10 doesn't hit.
Okay, so that was me. Me whiffing. Quinn. Oh, it's definitely gonna hit. 16 plus 9.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, shit, man. 8 plus 4, so 12 slashing damage.
12 slashing damage. Quinn just goes, "I don't think so, mate," and then just stabs him in the back. And you just hear the ogre go like, "Ugh!" And he yanks the sword out. There's like a dull like whoosh as the sword comes out, and the dragon slayer is like dripping with blood, and the ogre just goes, "Well, I tried."
Aww. Bless him. Oh.
All the combatants have been slain.
All falls quiet. I look at Quinn, and then I go, "Did you really punch it in the dick?"
I told you not to ask about it.
Okay, I won't ask for anything more than that.
It will haunt me in my dreams forevermore.
What time is it?
It's pretty late at this point.
Okay, and we don't hear any.
So there's the building around you.
Yeah.
You can see both of you can see because Quinn's got light on his blade. There is a large building in the center of this kind of courtyard area.
We're gonna make our way inside just
Okay.
to sort of make sure everything's done.
Right.
You know. Yeah. So I've got my birds with me. I've got my weapons. And
How long does it last for? I'm assuming because it's concentration, it's quite long.
I believe it's 10 minutes, but I will check. Yeah, up to 10 minutes.
Yeah, so there's plenty of time. You make your way inside.
I'm assuming the hammer will disappear first because it only lasts for a minute.
1 minute. Yeah, that'll probably fade as you make your way towards the door. So you open and you make your way in, and you find yourself in quite a large chamber. There are 2 rows of crumbling pillars that support a 40-foot high vaulted ceiling. The place is littered with humanoid bones, and there is a 10-foot square hole in the ceiling that leads to the belfry, but there's no rope or anything up there. So you have to think of a creative means of getting up there.
Well, I mean,
There are.
it's a rumor, not a.
There's a door to the east, a door to the west, and a door to the south.
The place that was mentioned where there was treasure, is it the same place? In the rumors?
You assume so.
Okay. What you said there was 2 directions? I'm sorry.
3 directions:
3 directions.
east, west, and south.
So we're gonna go east first.
East. Okay, so you make your way east, and you find yourself in what looks like a bedchamber, which looks like it had at one point maybe had sleeping arrangements and possibly like somewhere to sit and eat.
Mm-hmm.
But all the furnishings have been destroyed, and part of the south wall has collapsed.
Okay. Is there any? Can we look around and see if there's any treasure in here?
You can't make out anything.
Okay. Well, we're gonna head back and head to the south.
The south? Okay. You open the large double doors, and you find 6 stone pillars that brace the vaulted ceiling of this temple, the floor of which is buried under a thick layer of dust. Also covered in dust are 4 humanoid skeletons in tattered priestly vestments, lying near a stone altar situated in an alcove under 4 narrow windows. Carved into the front of the altar is a humanoid eye.
Is that the symbol of? Could I assume that's safely? That's the symbol of what's her face?
I won't even make you check for that. Yeah, it's the symbol of Severus.
Okay. I will offer a moment of respect, and then I will enter.
Okay.
And see if I can find anything interesting, like said treasure.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
I believe that's 11.
You make your way over to the altar, and you kind of check around, because that's the only thing of any real note in this room. And you find that the altar's base doesn't quite touch the floor. There's like a small gap, and as you kind of like look down and get a closer look, you see it's actually on rollers, like little stone rollers.
Okay, yeah.
And you can push it to the south, so you kind of grab it and
push it down, yeah.
And you find a 1 foot square cavity in the floor, and inside there there is a little wooden coffer tucked away.
I want to open it.
You open it and you find 57 gold pieces and a strange key.
57 gold, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, close the menu.
Where is it? There it is.
Question mark is worked into the head of this key. The key has a 5% chance of unlocking any lock into which it's inserted. Once it unlocks something, the key disappears. Interesting. Slip that into the pocket. And then I will... I'm going to safely assume that this was the supposed treasure. And I'm going to look at Quinn and be like, we might as well rest here and then head back down there with the light.
57 gold pieces is a bit... I mean, I was hoping for more than that.
We can check the west real quick before we sleep, if you want.
You do, and there's nothing of note there.
Yeah.
It's what looks like it was maybe once a visitor's quarters.
Yeah. And then after that I say, well, 57 might not seem like much because we found a lot, but to some people that probably is a lot of money. It just kind of...
Yeah, you're right. Should have gone to the lighthouse.
We can do that when we head back. So we're going to rest. Well, we're gonna go get our horse, and we'll rest in Coneyberry.
Okay.
I was gonna say we could rest there, but I was like, no, Lily will be mad, so
sense,
we're gonna go back.
You go back. Lily is very agitated at this point. Maybe she sensed that there was you got into a scuffle. Maybe she sees that there's definitely like a big mark here where you got hit by that ogre, and Quinn has got like he's kind of like bleeding on his head where he got hit as well. So Lily is like.
I pet her face and I say, I'm sorry, they surprised us.
Oh, like, you know how we have Lily has those like disembodied horse sounds because she can't actually vocalize. I imagine them having that effect on like the reverse echo.
Oh.
So like it quietly comes in like all weird and that.
I will hug her face.
Okay. Now that she's seen you, she's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, okay, and we're gonna rest up.
Okay. So yeah, you take a rest. There are nothing crazy happens.
I'm assuming I have to manually edit Quinn's stats with the long rest.
I don't know. Will you?
I do, yes.
That's annoying. There should be like a long rest button for him.
There should be, but it doesn't. Like I just heal him back up to his max usually.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anyways, but yeah, so. Yeah, and then
there's a thing that I need to press that
maybe
it's like a heal and a long rest thing.
Yeah, and then so once the light hits, we're gonna head out, or when we wake up, because I imagine we went to bed late.
Yeah, it would be quite late at that point, and
we're gonna.
So you wake up at kind of mid-morning.
Yeah. So and we're gonna push on until we get to the mines.
All right. So you saddle up on Lily. And with your 57 gold pieces and your pretty decisive victory against I was looking.
We fucked those guys up.
I was looking at the thing and I was like, 3 ogres and 4 orcs. That's going to be pretty tough. But No, Spirit Guardians.
Apparently, all of my good rolls were just waiting until I cast Spiritual Guardians, and then it was just like max shitloads of damage, shitloads of...
shredded them.
It's like, I might not be able to hit them, but if they fail, they're not very smart, so they're going to take shitloads of damage.
As you kind of like dash off back towards the Mountain's Toe mine, we will leave it there for the week, I think, because it's pretty much bang on 9:30.
Sweet.
So we did well.
Yay!
Yeah, that was excellent. I don't know about you, I really enjoyed that one.
I had a lot of fun, and diplomacy went a long way.
So you didn't notice this because you were too busy like looking at your cards and like looking at character sheet and stuff. But when the rumor first came up of the Shrine of Severus, I was just like grimacing at the camera because that is the one place that I hadn't prepped because I didn't consider the possibility of you going there.
You didn't consider the possibility that
like,
it's on the way.
But then I was like, I realized that I'm dumb because like the part of the Mountain's Toe mine is that
it leads
like
you
potentially
there?
Well, I mean you could have just said no and tried to kill them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there was still that very real possibility of you going there. So I was just like, well, whatever. But it's quite a simple area. So it was just when I was looking at, because it's one place that scales based on what level you are.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, you're on your own. And there's like 3 ogres and four orcs. I'm just like,
I can go back to Falcon and be like, Falcon, I killed 3 orcs or 3 ogres, man.
He's going to be very impressed. But anyway, let's end this section there. We'll move on to the post show for those of you watching on Twitch. For those of you, for the rest of you, thank you very much for joining us for our 9th session of Dragon of Icespire Peak.
Hey.
We hope you'll join us next week for session 10.
Oh my god,
Session
we're
10.
hitting double digits.
I know, it's crazy. I know, who would have thought that we would have continued this?
I mean, considering how shit I was playing lately, I'm amazed I lived this
man.
long. But I feel like
that Spiritual Guardians made up for.
I feel like I did because my logic was trying to play more defensively, but the idea was like, okay, if I get Spiritual Guardians up, I can still heal, but at least I'm still like we're still sort of protected. Yeah. But then once it kind of reached the point where it was like, wow, this fight has really turned in our favor. I was like, okay, time to just start fighting.
I was just amazed at how easily it just made mincemeat of the orcs.
Yeah, man, chickadees.
Like, it's at this point now that it's just like those early encounters that gave you so much. Imagine if you had Spirit Guardians at the Woodland Manse.
Yeah, I wish. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, and I guess that's the point that I was making of like, you go there at 4th level, and
I get fucked up. What? Yeah.
Anyway,
okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us. We hope you stay safe during these very, very strange and troubling times, and we hope that you will join us next week for another edition of Dragon of Icespire Peak. Thank you all very much, and for those of you on Twitch, we'll be back with you in a moment.
Bye!
Bye-bye!